Hello there, I'm CrimsenOverlord, and welcome to Crafting an Encounter. Uh, I don't know if I'll do other videos of this. I guess it depends on the response and how many 3D terrains I actually build. But I've built a couple now, and I wanted to share kind of my favorite ones so far. The idea behind this is, and there will be pictures. The idea behind this encounter is that the heroes have been fighting these enemies called the God Killers, and the God Killers have been trying to free the Primordials, and the Primordials are, much like the gods, except generally more powerful. And there's a lot of lore about the Primordials in Dungeons and Dragons 4E, which is the setting or the system we are playing the current campaign in. And I kind of had this, I had this idea for them fighting on this like moving Colossus type character. And as I was kind of just looking around the internet for inspiration for what kind, I saw this picture of this bird that you see on the screen that I remember having a lot of fun fighting in the game Shadow of the Colossus. So I kind of used that as a base inspiration. So I went on the internet and I Google searched like hawk outline, and I found this nifty little outline of a bird in flight, and I thought it looked really cool and it suited my needs for size and shape and things like that. So I went with that, and I drew it on some cardboard with a pencil. I kind of hand drew it, and then I retraced it with Sharpie because you couldn't see the pencil in the picture. And it's really cool because there's this little area towards the bottom, on his tail, where the tail actually moves, which might be used in battle, probably not. But it's nice that it's there, just the way the cardboard worked. So I took a box cutter, and I just went and I lightly scored, and it took 3 full scorings to get this out because it's really thick cardboard, which is exactly what I need. And one of the things that I realized kind of belatedly is that all the little feather details that are there, which look really cool when it's in the board, not painted or anything, most of them didn't cut out the way that I wanted them to because they were so thin and small. And most of them are going to be covered up, so that it was a learning mistake, is what it was. I now know better than to put tiny little details around the edges of my maps. So I'm glad I made the mistake, so that now I know not to do it in the future. So I guess it would have been better if I just never figured it out at all, or if I never had to figure it out, I guess would be the way to do it. But anyway, the idea behind this bird is that I want it to be standing up. It's above the ground. There's little squares of cardboard you see there in the picture are I just double stacked some cardboard and glued it to the underside. That's the positions that I put it in to kind of hold the weight of the map. Don't know why that word escaped me. And then I glued this little this gem there, and that's its weak point. That's where its heart is, so to speak. And the gem is actually a 20-sided D10. Yes, I know that sounds completely ridiculous. That's exactly what it is. I got it at my local hobby shop. It cost me like $0.25. It's really cheap plastic, and it's really hard to read the numbers because they don't paint them. It's just this translucent green. I might go buy another one. I kind of glued this one in there just to make sure it didn't move around. It was relatively easy. You just cut out a hole that's smaller than the dice and then shove the dice in there. I do have some other like crystal type objects I could use, but I liked the way this one looked, and I thought it fit really well in that spot. Another learning mistake, I probably should have glued it in after I painted, but oh well. Now you can kind of see like a setup of what I wanted to do with the felt and the set pieces. Because I wanted to have grass and I wanted to have dirt, and I didn't want it to just all be painted. So I got some really cheap felt, and I got a couple different colors to make it stand out. And it doesn't look very good right there. It really doesn't. And most projects don't. I've noticed watching other people make terrain. Most projects look like crap until they're about 90% done. So you just kind of have to work with it and hope it turns out for the best. But there's that. And then I went ahead and painted it. And instead of just spraying it complete black, I did kind of this swirly camo pattern with the black and the brown. And then the natural cardboard brown shows up as well. And I liked the way that turned out, just in terms of the pattern being all like camo-y. But I also liked the way it turned out because I kind of sprayed as much black as I could around the bird for the outline, so it was hard to see the outlines, but then the brown doesn't really show too much, and it really helps. It really does look nice. So there's like dark dirt and light dirt and really dark black dirt like I have in my front yard. And you can kind of see, like, there's a zoom in on the thing. It's not perfect. You can see, like, I had just like a little thin paper towel covering up the gem so I didn't spray it black by accident. So you can kind of see the tape marks, but that's no big deal. It's going to be covered up most of the fight anyway, and my party's not going to care. So this is kind of the finished product. I glued some dirt on there, some actual dirt for like difficult terrain, and I glued the felt on, and I glued on the little patches of grass and rearranged them a little different than what they were in the initial concept. And I painted all of the rocks. It's a little hard to tell in this picture with the flash, but they were all white and clear, and now they're all gray. And the bush is kind of like a dead bush. I just like the way that looked with the dead bush, and the spray paint was a lot easier to put on there. This is what it looks like with the bird missing. Still clearly, part of the still clearly an outline of a bird now, but it was really difficult to tell beforehand without looking specifically for it. It's something the party's just gonna go, "Oh, that's really cool," and they're not really gonna like study it and try and figure out all its secrets. Although I suppose some parties might. And then I got a nice little zoom in of the bird itself, which I have sitting on top of something for the sake of the thing, of the image. So you can kind of see like the grass kind of hangs off the sides, and that allows players to kind of, if they get pushed off, they can grab, so then their character will, their mini will sit next to the hanging grass there, and they'll be hanging on for dear life, and that's going to add some dynamicness to the fight, which I'm really excited for. And this fight, I'm going to have 2 more sessions after the recording of this video, and this will be the one after the last one. And that will be like my temporary reprieve from the campaign as I take a break from DMing for about 2 months, I think it's going to be. So I want to have like this. I want to use this as like the penultimate intro into Paragon tier. This will be probably the first session in Paragon tier, I guess, would be the way to do it, to describe it, because they'll all be level 11 when they perform this encounter. So it'll be this like epic way to kind of to end this chapter of the campaign before moving on into the next one. I showed, here's the monsters. I got some cool new minis since the other picture, because it took me like 3 days to paint it because I didn't have time. And so I've got some nice little minis. These are the ones I'm probably going to use for the encounter, and the bottom is the party as it was at the time of taking the picture. Things have changed slightly, but for the most part they're all identical. They're all there. and so it's going to be kind of like they're going to come from the south there. It's going to give the archer some time to, or some places to hide and kind of try and stay out of the fray, which may end up being a bad thing when the party gets taken off on this bird. But he will have the option of kind of firing off into the bird from underneath to kind of help save the party. And I think it's going to be a really cool way to end this chapter, and I wanted to share it with you guys, and I hope you like it.